Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this week's installment of Will I Buy It, the weekly series in which we look at the newest makeup releases and we discuss whether or not we like them and why. This video series goes up on my channel every single Sunday and it is inspired by Samantha March's series of the same name and concept. I am filming this video a lot earlier than I usually do. Usually I film these videos Saturday afternoon. I'm filming this video Friday noonish. So I feel like I'm gonna be missing a few makeup releases. So if you want to see my opinion on the newest makeup releases, then of course, keep on watching. The very first makeup release that we're talking about right now is definitely one of the more, I would say, high-profile releases of this week. Rubeus Place decided to launch their new Warrior 3 palette. It's a 9-pan palette, and here is a look at what it looks like. The packaging looks absolutely divine. I was actually really excited when they sneak peeked the packaging because I thought that the inside would be super blue and magenta and maybe a little bit gold. I just thought it would be super neon, but then again part of me was like, will it? Because the Warrior series from Rubeus Place, they have had two other palettes before this, all named Warriors 1 or 2, and the Warrior series in general is one that tends to be quite neutral from Rubeus Place. So part of me was like, are they going to make this more neutral or are they going to make this more colorful? Because the packaging is really colorful. We were presented with this palette right here. And I actually did this look inspired by this palette, and it's already up on my channel when you're watching this. I posted this look last Friday, and in that video I basically pulled certain shades from this palette, and in that video I basically created this look inspired by this palette. See, the thing is for me with this palette, I'm not necessarily interested in it, and I feel after examining it for a little bit, I feel like it's because I don't necessarily see the color story in it. I feel like this is just a palette with lots of colors in it, and there's no necessary rhyme or reason that is immediately obvious to me. It would have been easier to digest for me if they would have included some magentas, golds, blues, maybe a splash of neutrals, because that would be easier for me to sort of understand. This is just a palette with a whole bunch of different shadows, and I don't necessarily know the color story, because I don't necessarily want to see a rainbow palette full of colors. I want to see a colorful palette that has a sort of story to it. I know I've said story a lot, but that's just how it is for me. I just want to see something that looks a little bit more thought out. Next, we have this radioactive collection from McGrath Cosmetics. They have a gamma ray blush light, which is generally going to be a product that looks like this. This is supposed to be a multi-use coral and blood orange product, and you can use it all over your face or body. And these are supposed to be unique and individually crafted. No two units of this product are supposed to be the same. I have to admit, I'm kind of into the orangey blush trend. I would like to try it out myself. I haven't yet though, but I would like to try it out. It's an interesting product. Could be groundbreaking, I don't know. I am, however, really interested in this really, really vivid looking hot pink liquid lipstick. I absolutely love it, and if there's one thing in this collection that I really want, it's this right here. However, I do want to take the time and discuss this next product right here, which is going to be their eyeshadow palette, the radioactive eyeshadow palette. I have similar comments to make about this palette that I made about the Rubeus Place Warrior 3 palette. It's just a rainbow looking palette, and I don't see the story in it. I just see a rainbow palette, and I have no patience for that. I don't want more rainbow palettes on the market. I want palettes that have a little bit more of a color story to them. And I've always looked at McGrath Cosmetics as one of the brands that does a really great job of taking colorful shades and really creating a gradient palette with them, really creating a really creative looking color story with colorful shades. However, they're creating a rainbow palette now, and I honestly feel like that's a step back, so I'm just not interested. Next, however, I do want to talk about this collection that Colourpop Cosmetics is launching, and this is called the X's and O's collection. And this includes an X's and O's palette, which is going to be a mix of metallic and matte shadows, a selection of ultra blotted lips and ultra glossy lips. Now, the lip products do look quite interesting. I have never actually tried the ultra blotted lips in the liquid lipstick format that they have it in. I have the ones in the stick form, and I actually kind of like those for everyday use. The palette for me is just boring. It's a neutral city. We've been over this. I don't like neutrals. I mean, I kind of like neutrals. I wear neutrals on occasion if you call a gray or a black a neutral, but I don't really want anything new in my collection if it's going to be a neutral. I also want to talk about the Viart eyeshadow palette that they're launching. This is called the Dark Edit palette, and this includes a whole bunch of really rich, really fall tone shades. I absolutely love this. This is a mix of shades from their Grand Pro 2 palette, their Dark Mattes palette, and they also have a few new shades in here as well. I actually will say that this is definitely one of my favorite Viart color stories that I've seen from them, because Viart is known for being quite like an upscale, quite an expensive kind of brand, and that's why I honestly stay away from them, because I'm just not interested in paying that price tag. However, this color story does look really fascinating. Yes, you do have those like warm tone brownish oranges right there, but I feel like these brownish oranges are more orange than brown, which makes them more colorful. And you have like a lot of like plum notes in here. You have a touch of blue, a touch of green. You have some gold. This is, in my mind, a simply beautiful fall palette. I absolutely love this. I also want to talk about this new brand right here, which is called the In Beauty Project. I haven't really heard much about this. I will say that their initial launch appears to be a two-part magic melting mask that is called FaceTime. It is supposed to even tone, smooth texture, brighten, and blur the skin. And then they also have a lip oil, which is called Glaze Number 1, which is supposed to plump, hydrate, smooth, and it is in a natural candy apple flavor. I will say that the promotional shots that they have for these products look absolutely just mouth-watering. I love the photography of this. I know. I love photography because I'm a photographer. So whenever I look at these like new launches and I see like really cool and interesting photography, I will comment on it. The product, I don't know if I'm interested in the product, however, the photos look really spicy. Moving on though, I do want to talk about this launch from Nomad Cosmetics. This is called the Celestial Storm Palette. This is yet another really spicy, really fun looking fall kind of palette. I absolutely love this. You have 12 shades in here. There's a mixture of, I would say, colors and a mixture of a little bit of neutrals, but the majority of these shades are colorful shades. And see, you have a lot of shades in here. You have a lot of different shades. However, there is a story to it. It does look like a cohesive palette. It looks like it was thought out. This is the kind of multicolored palette that I like. I don't want a palette that looks rainbow. I want a palette that looks more like this. I'm okay with a little bit more of a gradient, but this is, in my mind, a really beautiful, themed, well thought out looking palette. In my mind, it doesn't matter how well thought out a palette was if it doesn't look well thought out, you know? This, in my mind, looks well thought out. Moving on though, let's talk about Jeffree Star and Morphe. Oh my gosh, they are basically launching a whole bunch of different sets, and they're going to include some of Jeffree Star's ultra matte lips, velour liquid lipsticks, and they're also going to include some of Morphe's glosses, and they have like these curated sets. Again, my question is, why is Jeffree Star collaborating with Morphe? Not that that's like surprising coming from him, but it kind of is, since he already has his own brand. Like, is he looking for a quick money grab? Because like that's what this looks like. Not interested in this whatsoever. I will say that I'm kind of interested in this. This is from Pat McGrath Labs, and for everybody who has been like just crying inside over how expensive Pat McGrath Labs eyeshadows are, they are including these like mini 5-color eyeshadow sets, I guess. And they have a subversive palette, which includes a lot of colors, and then they also have a sinful palette, which includes some like of their like neutral shades. I love this. I love the colorful version. I might go into Sephora and swatch it so I can salivate over it because I'm a makeup nerd. But yeah, I kind of like this. This is the kind of launch that I'm really kind of interested in. I don't know if I'll ever get this. We'll see. I don't know. Bobbi Brown is breaking my heart by launching this eyeshadow palette. I believe this is going to be a holiday collection eyeshadow palette, but like look at this packaging and look at the colors inside, and then look at that beautiful pop of blue, and then look at how neutral everything else is. Like Bobbi Brown, if you're gonna launch a holiday palette and you're gonna tempt me with packaging and embossing and just really like intense flash photography, don't put a blue in there, because whenever a blue gets put into palettes, if it's a really beautiful blue, I just like feel like this intense attraction towards it, and it's really hard, especially when it's the only color in the palette. Come on, Bobbi Brown, why you do this to me? On another note, like, can we stop with like the pop of blue in palettes? I feel like that's such a boring concept. It's overplayed in my opinion. I'm sort of over it. I do want to take a moment to talk about the collaboration between Davina and Angelica. This is a makeup brand and a smaller influencer that I absolutely love. I have never tried Davina, but I've heard many good things about them from Angelica herself, and they're collaborating. And they're basically going to be launching this 12-shade bundle for $48, and it will be limited edition. However, they are planning on restocking it if it sells out. I think it probably will. But I will say that this is probably one of the more exciting launches for me this week, because this is, in my mind, a colorful like bundle that I absolutely just find myself really attracted to because of just how beautifully colorful it is. But like, again, this looks well thought out. You have gradients in here. You don't have like a rainbow array of colorful shades. You have a selection of very well thought out looking, curated, colorful shades, and I love that. I kind of wish I wasn't on my no buy, because otherwise I would really want to get this, because like, these are so pretty. Nomad Cosmetics is launching Lake Como and Tuscany palettes. I, for one, I would really want to get these palettes if it wasn't for like the bone colored shades that were present in each one of these palettes. Seeing those like light tan shades in palettes, it looks like a waste of space, and I'm just not interested in it. I would say 60% of the colors in each of these palettes, but the remaining 40% not too interested in. I also want to take a quick moment and talk about Luxe Beauty. They are launching a foiled rose palette, and it looks really pretty. And I know that it looks like this pretty because of the flash. Can makeup brands stop using flash? Because like, that just always breaks my heart when I look at a flash photo and I know that it's flash and I know that it doesn't look that good in real life. It breaks my heart, okay? But this does look like a really pretty color story. I really do like it. Oh gosh, this is painful. It is so pretty. I like it. Give Me Glow Cosmetics is launching a vintage rose palette and some new liquid lipsticks. When I first saw this, I was kind of underwhelmed. Not gonna lie. However, when I saw the swatches of it, I was like, ooh, no, seriously though, I really do like this color story. It's an interesting, I would say, take on combining pink with green, because in here, the green is like really like a little bit of a darker tone, and the entire mood of the palette is relatively fallish, which is different, I think, from what I have in my collection right now, because like usually when I combine a pink with a green, it is a really bright version of the two shades. However, this is slightly more muted. I really do like it. I will say that it's really interesting to me how like the swatches look so much darker than the actual palette. I'm curious about that. I wonder why that is. But the swatches, like based on the swatches, I really like this. That surprised me because I didn't know I would like be so drawn to this, because looking at the picture initially, I was kind of like, but once I looked at the swatches, I was like, whoa, I like. that is all the time we have for today to talk about new makeup. Lots of eyeshadow in here. You guys know that I love talking about eyeshadow in these kinds of videos. But thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. It's getting a little bit dark because look, there's a storm coming, which is why the lighting in this video is kind of dodgy, if I do say so myself. But yeah, let me know what you think of this week's makeup releases. Do you like them? Do you not like them? What are your thoughts? And I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.